The following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
You know, there are bigger problems in the world. There are bigger problems in our personal lives. But when we're talking about a show that tries to involve entertainment, apparently a fucking gamma bomb went off last week in the incel community. Listen, I got a message for all the chooches, the herbs, the mamalukes, and the overall dicks. All right, complaining about fucking the SheHulk show. Once again, knock the shit off, guys. Listen, it's better. I don't know. I'm just upset. And just stop bitching. The character's been around for 40 plus years, and you want to just drop your fucking rhetoric nonsense. Go fuck yourselves. You can't listen to this show. Welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
Welcome to episode 526 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is the world's most dangerous podcast and is recorded in front of an undead studio audience here at Castle Wolfenstein at the rest stop Glory Hole at the Ravenshadow. Also, the Lair of the Gods, where apparently Aris has officially earned the title of God since he cut down a burning tree. I can't wait to hear this story. And also from the home of H.P. Lovecraft, not the actual house, but you know the area that H.P. Lovecraft lived in for a while in good old Rhode Island. We have joining us once again Arkham. Josh, what's up, Josh?
Not much. How you guys doing?
Doing pretty good, man. Pretty all right. I guess that's better than most days, I guess. I don't know.
Yes.
All right. So on this evening's show, before we kind of shoot the shit and jump into some stuff here, we're going to be talking about the film Glorious. It is the latest film from director Rebecca McKendry, and it is streaming exclusively on Shudder right now. And you can go ahead and check it out. It's been on there for a few days, and we'll get a little bit more into the film in a bit. But for those not familiar, Rebecca McKendry also is a podcast host. She's worked for Fangoria. She did Killer POV, Shockwaves, and I keep forgetting the name of her new podcast. Do you happen to know, Josh?
I think it's Colors of the Dark.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
Yep.
So, but yeah.
And she had another one in the middle, too, that was just her.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was on, I remember that one, actually. It was something about school or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was when they were on that Fangoria network.
Yeah, before things went ass up, I guess.
Right. Well, because of somebody involved with Cinestate that wasn't even involved with the Fangoria end of it.
I know, yeah. It kind of opened up a rat hole, Ravenshadow.
Yeah.
So before, I want to ask Josh some more stuff about, records. I always like diving into that. But before we do, Ravenshadow, I just wanted to, before I forget, follow up on your intro there. So I guess I haven't really seen the rhetoric, but are incels and these men's rights activist assholes, are they like flipping out about SheHulk? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, I know I'm coming to the party late with like social media, like personalities and shit like that. But like, I look on the little video feed on the Facebook, you know what I mean, while I'm in the bath. And this is some fucking, yeah, you know what I mean? I'm just, singing the songs that I want to sing and relaxing. But there's some fucking douchebag. I think Matt Walsh is his name. another prick, Ben Shapiro. Like,
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah, that fucking dick. Yeah.
All right, yeah. So I mean, once again, I'm new to this, but they're complaining about the feminist rhetoric in these characters, and like, and once again, it's fucking. The first episode of She-Hulk was actually I thought was the best first episode of all the Disney Plus shows overall.
Wow.
In terms of what it gave you for an origin to set it up, and right now it's my third favorite show. I've only seen one episode, but the people that are just fucking complaining about shit, but it answered all your questions. But just dudes being dicks to be dicks. Like, I would think that whatever club you're into, whatever hobby you're into, isn't it better to have whatever your desired significant other in to be, right? If you're into dudes or chicks and dudes, or dudes and dudes and chicks, get them all in the room, right? Like, whatever you're into, like, it's awesome. And they're just complaining about fucking nonsense. And I don't know. That one dude fucking pissed me to fuck off a lot.
Yeah, well, fuck them. First of all, like, it doesn't matter. It's sort of like I saw someone post a tweet, and basically it was like, I can't remember what it said, like something a WandaVision was this, and like it kind of ran down all the different Marvel shows, like Ms. Marvel was this, and how people had problems with each and every one, and then at the end it's it's not the shows that are the problem. Do you see a trend here? It's your fucking toxic masculinity, or I think it just, I don't even know if it said that. I think it was just like misogyny or something like that.
Right, and you could not like a show, you could not like it or not like a character. That's fine.
Yeah.
But like it or not like it for its merits.
Right. Whether it's good or bad, not like whether it goes against your political leanings or, whatever.
And this one dude was like, oh, he made he's such a fucking dick. Matt Walsh, fucking don't look his shit up, but if you do, you'll get angry. But it was, you guys see the first episode of She-Hulk? Anybody interested?
I start.
I'm interested, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
Yeah, there's a great, I don't want to ruin it, but like, basically there was a Jennifer Walters gives her cousin a speech about anger, and the dismissive response to this fucker just shows he doesn't get it. And what really blows me away is some of these fucking pricks have fucking wedding bands on.
I'm sure I'm sure they're great husbands too.
Yeah, right. And like, unless their mom really fucked them up, they have women in their lives, probably sisters. Like, I don't know if it's just a gimmick. Okay, but you guys are dicks, man.
Yeah,
I mean, I think there's an easy solution to this. Don't watch their channel. Don't give them the attention.
Yeah.
Don't speak their names. I mean,
Right.
I don't know these people because I have better things to do than have people hate on things I like. You know what? Because if it's like a legitimate discussion, I might be interested. But if you're just gonna hate for hate, I don't care.
Yeah.
So I'm not even gonna give their attentions. I'm trying to wipe those names from my mind because I got better things to do with my life, and I'd recommend anyone. You know what? Just steer away from just the hate. Don't give these people the attention. You don't need that conflicting view because it serves no good purpose. This isn't like getting two sides of a politician. No, there's no good from the downside of this.
Yeah, and honestly, if you're watching their stuff on YouTube, Ravenshadow, you're giving them money because they're getting like ad revenue.
No.
So it's best to just kind of avoid it.
You're right. Yeah, I just want to see, like, oh, I like that. I like that costume. What are they talking about? Oh, fuck. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah. Dicks.
So, and toxic fandom is one thing. It's funny. I think this will be an interesting film discussion for Glorious because there's a lot going on under the hood that I wonder if it's to me, it was kind of like just right there. But I wonder if it was right there for other people. But in a way, I feel like it tackles a little bit of toxic masculinity in it. And I'm looking forward to talking about that with you guys. But, I feel like these are topics that come up almost on a weekly basis. Toxic fandom and toxic masculinity. And, it's just, I don't understand why people have to hate something that, it just offends their ego for existing. It makes them feel less than. And you know what? Like, everyone can exist all at the same time. It's someone else's existence. It doesn't mean you're anything less than what you are, And I feel like people feel threatened by, strong women. Like, for instance, I think we did talk about this somewhat recently, but you guys know T-Dog, my partner, was doing professional bodybuilding a couple years ago, and she could outlift me in a lot of lifts, and I was lifting pretty heavy for back then when she was like going hard. And in the gym, you would just see guys like posturing, like trying to like lift next to her and like make grunting noises and just to be seen. They don't want to, just her existing in that gym with them meant that they were less than what they thought they were, because here's this strong woman who can lift more than them, and that really fucks with a lot of guys' sensibilities, because men are taught to be strong and women are weak, like that's sort of like what a lot of, through media and just society in general. So, I feel like this whole, a lot of the media that we've been seeing in the last few years, especially as it relates to, like Marvel, Star Wars kind of stuff, we've been seeing it's been kind of evening out, leveling out a little bit, right? Where we've been seeing more women who are playing strong characters as opposed to these weak damsel in distress characters, So, yeah, I think that this sort of paradigm shift is happening, and some people just can't take it because they don't want to look at themselves and say, you know what, I'm okay with this, as opposed to just having this like sort of like force field of masculinity that's like shielding them from everything, and then when something gets in their sphere, that they have to put it down or make themselves feel better,
Oh, 100%. You know what I mean? Like, I fucking hate NASCAR and golf, but I don't use this platform to yell or fucking about, what the fuck. Like, yeah. Fucking like, fine. If you want to dress like a fucking prick, fine. I'm not going to call you out on it. You don't even want to wear those fucking pants and those fucking whatever, man. Do your thing.
You know what's funny? When you said dress like a prick, I didn't know which sport you were talking about. Could have kind of gone either way there.
Right,
and I'm not sure. Are you just angry at people that wear pants?
Yeah.
But no, but I mean, like, once again, yeah, to Aris' point, like, if you dress like a fucking billboard, or you wear these fucking, like, I don't know, like, it's like all of Batman's villains, you raided their closet to put your outfit on. Like, you got fucking purple pants, you got a fucking hat, like, what's next? Is makeup? I don't fucking... Whatever, man. Like, if I'm playing golf, I want a fucking windmill, I want a trap door, I want a skull. You know what I mean? Like, that's fun. Give me a challenge.
All right.
Oh, fuck. Assholes.
Jesus. How do you really feel, though?
Whatever, man. Like, fucking, like, stop.
That's your fucking superhero name. Whatever, man.
Whatever, man. Like, fucking.
If you're going to be the angry guy tonight, does this mean I have to be the obnoxious douchebag tonight?
Yes.
No, you have to be the angrier guy.
Oh, Aries can do that.
I just gave him a reasonable challenge.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to have to try, but I can do it.
So we'll get more into that, I think. But let's check in with our boy Josh. Josh, obviously I know it's been a rough week, but let's talk about fun stuff in terms of like records. Like, I know it's always fun to take a look at what you have for sale and all that. But any stories from the I guess we can call this segment stories from the bins or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if I have any new real exciting stories. But I know you like to look at the store, so you'll see that I think we've recently put up some very expensive and tough to come by Van Halen records.
Ooh.
And I've gotten a couple of really good collections, but there's not really a funny story. However, I did want to delve into a conversation that you guys had a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
So I wanted to ask Ravenshadow about his Power Man 5000 CD collection. Okay, I can see I got his attention.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So do you actually have a copy of the Bloodsplat rating system?
I'm glad you asked, Josh, because I do have a copy of Bloodsplat right here.
Excellent. Okay, because when you were showing that off a couple weeks ago, and the other two gentlemen here were dismissing your collection, you might like to know that is probably a $50 or $60 used CD.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Represent.
You gonna hawk it? Represent. I love. He said represent, and then he squinted.
All their other ones, all the major label releases, those are like $4 or $5 CDs. But that one being the original self-released one from '94, that one is worth money.
I fucking told you guys, and actually,
is it the actual CD or is it a
burned
bootleg?
Copy?
Yeah. Yeah, let me just examine that over Skype.
What that boy mean a bootleg? I bought it at fucking Newberry Comics.
What's that about?
What's that bootleg? I got that. And actually, I went downstairs. I got the release fucking. What the fuck is this? Something on the other side of fucking Tomorrow. I got that. I got Destroy What You Enjoy. I got fucking all that shit, man. Yeah.
Yeah, so all the rest of them are pretty much worthless, but you do have a good piece in that one.
I told you.
I just wanted to stick up for you because they gave you a hard time about your Power Man 5000 CD collection.
Thank you, John.
It was more of that he had to go collect it and hold it up.
Yeah.
For a fucking podcast. You're a fucking half mile away from the camera. You're holding up a little 5-inch by 5-inch square disc that no one can fucking make out.
So what you're saying is he could be holding up anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Those could be.
He could
his
be holding up
Barbra Streisand.
Casablanca. Could be holding up the soundtrack to Casablanca.
Here's Casablanca corny. Here you go.
That's actually his Engelbert Humperdinck CD collection.
Engelbert Humperdinck 5000.
But now, for the real fan collector, is do you have the cassette version that they released a year before that CD?
No, the only PM5K cassette I have is Kung Fu Radio.
All right. Yeah.
Ooh,
because
PM5K.
Because they did release a self-released cassette that actually, I forget the title. It had a different title than Bloodsplat Rating System, but it's a lot of the same material. And apparently that is a much higher price collectible item.
Nice. Well, I told them it was worth monies, and they didn't believe me.
You did not.
I did. Play back the tape.
Okay. Let's go back and hear it.
But thank you, John. Thank you for the validation.
Yes, I figured I wanted to make Michael Ravenshadow feel a little bit better about, his collection.
Thank you.
Oh man, that's funny.
Actually, speaking of fan favorites, Johnny, I listened to an old episode of Talk Is Jericho that had Devin Townsend on. from a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah.
It was a good episode. I didn't realize that Jason Newsted got fired from Metallica because he was doing. One of the reasons was because he was hanging out with Devin Townsend, and they would do things.
That's funny.
And, yeah.
Yeah, I have. Speaking of collections, I actually have a cassette. I actually don't know where it is right now. I know it's here somewhere, but the name of the band was Hate. It was H8, like and it was Devin Townsend and Jason Newsted. They did a project together as an EP. They only released a few copies, like maybe 100 or 200 or something like that. Actually, maybe it was more than that. I'm not quite sure, but it was a limited run. It's probably more than that. But I was able to get one of those. My cousin, I think Ravenshadow and Aris. I think you guys might have met my cousin.
We do. We have.
Yeah, he's lunatic. But anyways, he had a copy of it because he used to work for Zildjian Cymbals, and so he actually got me in to see Metallica and on the Injustice for All tour because he knew Lars from Zildjian, or knew someone who knew him. I don't know if he was like friends with him, but anyways, so I got to. That was like when I was 13. That was like the highlight of my life, getting to go hang out with Metallica, But anyways, he had that, and he gave me the cassette, so I have a copy of that. I'm trying to see if I can find any info about the cassette.
Is it irate? Then the number 8?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep, demo tape 200 pressed on cassette in 1994.
Yep.
Last one that sold, at least via Discogs, was $30, but one has not come up for sale in like 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't sell it. I do have it here somewhere. But yeah, I thought that was kind of cool that I was able to nab one of those. My cousin had one somehow. I think it was from from working for Zildjian. So
yeah. So I mean, $30 is the high mark on it, but since one hasn't come up for sale in so long, it could be double that easily.
True, yeah. So look at that. How about you, Aris? Do you have anything of value?
Let me look around. I don't know.
This is actually going to be the new segment. You'll have me on, and I'll just evaluate the value of your music collection.
Well, it was funny. For the longest time, I had a vinyl that was on my table over here, and I was just looking. I was going to grab it and go, "How much is this worth?" And it's not there anymore. I must have put it away. It was some comedy CD with what the hell was a guy? I can't remember his name. The guy who used to do the impressions back in the 80s.
Oh,
Rich
that
Little?
guy.
Rich Little, yes, Rich Little.
Nice.
It's a Rich Little
nice one. I was like,
comedy
"Ooh,
vinyl."
there's so many guys who did them. That's funny.
Let's see. Let's take a quick look online here for Rich Little.
Yes.
Let's
Big John
see.
Carson reference. Be right back.
Something to do with the president, like he was
Right.
like him and a bunch of people were pretending to be the president.
Is it W.C. Fields for president?
No, that's not it. Let me see if I stand up and look over my makeshift wall. Uh-oh, there it is.
Uh-oh.
I think I see it. Oh, that's gonna make a mess.
That doesn't sound good.
That was a bucket of nails.
Oh shit.
Yep.
Now the bucket of nails.
The bucket of nails is worth a lot though.
Oh yes, the first family rides again, right?
Yes, here it is.
Oh man, that's funny.
Let's see here. No, we're taking a quick look, and
God damn it.
Aries, you have a 50-cent record.
Yes, that was. I believe that was picked up for a quarter at the Salvation Army.
So Ravenshadow.
You only paid half price.
Yeah.
And no shipping.
So the prices kept going down. Ravenshadow was like 50, mine was like 30, and then Aries is like a quarter.
although yours could be more because, I said, it hasn't come up for a while.
That is true.
Yep. Demand could have risen. Could be $100 cassette.
Oh man.
But that bucket of nails.
Yeah.
That's where the money is these days.
Fucking a roof and nails. Damn it. That's a big fucking mess over there.
It's all right. Ravenshadow said he'll come over and clean it for you.
Yeah, yeah. He'll just vacuum it up. No big deal.
Yeah.
That's what
Dude,
you
I
do,
got a
Ravenshadow, right? Vacuum nails?
He
I
said
got a curvy pro. Yeah.
he's going to roll around on the floor until he picks them all up.
I do that. We'll get a big magnet.
A big yeah, just call Magneto.
Magnets pick up.
So yeah, there's our new segment. It'll be like was that Pawn Stars? We'll bring albums, records, tapes to Josh, and he'll evaluate them.
No, it should be. It wouldn't be more like Antiques Roadshow.
Okay, that's better.
I had a good name in my head, and it fucking is gone already. Damn it.
Arkham Roadshow or Arkham Antiques.
Around the turntable or something like that. It was. Oh, damn it. Damn it. Let's move on.
Yeah.
fucking mind goes in the old age.
I think we're all experiencing that, right?
So let's see what else. Oh, I just to get back to your vinyl, I see you have the two Van Halen albums you mentioned. Is a different kind of truth, which was a double LP.
Yeah.
And which album was that?
Is that the one with the train on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a newer record.
Oh yeah, that's the one with David Lee Roth. Okay, that's.
Yeah, and apparently what I got in the collection, it's a red vinyl, which you had to pre-order through like their website or something.
Oh, okay.
But there's another valuable one on there.
Yeah, the other one I see is they're running with the Devil 12-inch promo.
Yeah, so that is like a 5 or 6 song, like 12-inch EP that was put out prior to the first album to kind of gauge interest in the band.
Oh wow!
And the collection that I bought, the guy was a Van Halen nut. That the Running with the Devil promo is still sealed.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. So if anybody's looking for that collection,
if I had to spare $2.5 bills, I'd hit you up. It's funny. I probably mentioned on the show before, but maybe people don't know. But for pretty much like, as soon as I got into music, Van Halen's pretty much been one of my favorite bands like forever. So that was my first concert was seeing the 5150 tour with Sammy, which isn't quite as good, but I was only 10. So I don't think I could have actually gone to see Dave. I think I would have been a little too young. But so that's
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I heard very mixed reviews of early Dave performances.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. He was fucking coked out of his mind, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. I think my parents saw them either on like the 1984 tour or the one before that, and they said that like he didn't even sing half the verses of the songs. He would just run around high-fiving people and yelling.
Zippity-bop.
Zippity-zippity-bop.
Yeah. Coke will do that to you, just running on stage. Yeah.
Reach down to my legs.
Ease the tea bag.
I want to know how great would it be to have like Diamond Dave and Paul Stanley on two sides of a stage, just reaching out to the crowd. It's like one guy, zippity bop, where the wild people at? Yeah, just like back and forth, like dueling out of their mind, lead singers. Great.
Yeah.
Oh man. So anything else going on this week? Ravenshadow, Aris? Anything you guys want to talk about? You excited about anything?
I cut a tree down that was on fire.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm glad you remember.
I mean, Aris has the most epic of stories for us.
Yeah, come on, lay it on us, Aris.
I mean, if you're friends with me on Facebook, you saw that little short video of me cutting down a tree that was legitimately on fire, and in my stupidness, I didn't think that maybe I should actually ask people to film this.
Yeah.
It wasn't until after the fact where some random firefighter came up to me and went, "What's your phone number? I want to send this to you." And I saw what he had, and I went, "Yes, please." And then I was like, "Holy fuck! Why didn't I think of that beforehand?" Because it was like a legitimate, like, I had to stop mid-cut. That's why it was like, I was like, "Okay, I'm cutting." I started the song cut, so that's why it was like seemed very quickly with the video. But yeah, that tree exploded too.
Oh my God!
It did. The video, like, it panned away. There was a very uproar of smoke and fire and
Jesus.
spark. And apparently, no, put your hand down. I'm not done yet. Apparently, that as this happened, I walked through this mass and was like, had an epic movie moment that no one caught on camera. But the people that I work with was like, "Oh my God, it was amazing." And I'm like, "Why'd you film it?" Like there was a lot of shit going on that no one filmed, and I'm pissed, but I'm so happy that at least a small part of this was captured. And there are some like other little short videos of just me cutting, but nothing exciting happening. But like, I fucking cut a tree that was on fire. Like, I'm sure that happens a lot to smoke jumpers and whatnot.
Happens every day.
No. There are people that they do that for a living. I have a cousin out in California that does that, and he was like, he messaged me, "Come on out west," and I'm like, "No, fuck you, I'm not doing this again." But so to them it's nothing, but to me it's like holding something that's full of gasoline and putting it to a fire.
Yeah,
like
that's actually the part I didn't actually put two and two together until just now.
Oh yeah, and there was probably 50 or so firefighters around when I cut the tree, and they all needed to be aware that I was doing it. But they all were like, "Who is this fucking nut doing this?" Like, they were all in awe. Like, that, the fact that I can, like, firefighters, they run towards fire for a living.
Right.
Yet
right.
what I did with fire, they were like, "Stay the fuck away from that guy. He's crazy."
That. Yeah, we ain't doing that shit.
So how did the tree come to be on fire?
It was a forest fire.
Okay.
That I was called to lend assistance with a chainsaw, because the average firefighter does not know how to cut a tree, and the forest crew was not experienced, and they actually got another tree hung up, and it was causing a serious hazard, and that's why I was called to the scene. And then another guy went, "Hey, that bar looks big enough to cut that burning tree." So I happened to have a chainsaw that was almost large enough to cut the tree. I had to be a little creative. And for the record, my bar was 28 inches long, to give you an idea of how big that tree was.
Yeah.
Almost long enough to cut the tree. My ego is huge, and I am living on like a little bit of a high with this, so forgive me if I seem like I'm boasting, but I feel like this is something I can.
Yeah.
That's why, like, this is like my one of two posts on Facebook a year. Like, I feel like I can post this. I can boast about this. So forgive me if this is boring to you.
You've met your quota. You've met your quota.
Yeah. All right, Ravenshadow, you had your hand up.
Yeah, one time I rode my bike uphill.
Yeah.
It's the most dangerous thing you've done.
Yeah, I was fucking tired. No, you were fucking, like, walk us through it, please, because I'm fucking fascinated. You literally wielded like a chainsaw Mjolnir.
I cut a tree. Yes. Mjolnir. I don't know what more do you want out of it? I'm sorry. Like, the video was there.
Why was it on fire? And why didn't you just put it out with like water first?
Okay, well, the forest was on fire. There was a 2 to 3 acre forest fire.
It sounds big.
Fire. It's compared to the one that's been burning for 2 weeks and will burn until winter. Small.
Where is there a fire burning till winter?
It's just a couple blocks away from where I cut this tree down. Look it up.
Wait, were you on Apocalypse? Is Doc there?
The city of Marlboro.
Someone leave a cigarette? What the fuck?
The large one was a lightning strike. The one I fought was a campfire. What? Don't look weird. The firefighters had it mainly under control, but when a fire gets into a hollow tree, they can't do anything if it's standing because it's burning up into the tree.
It's crazy.
So they need to get it down and then cut up so they can put it up.
And I went on my phone. I'm reviewing the video as we speak, and you can tell that, like in the foreground and around, it looked like the ground itself has been charred.
Oh yeah.
So you can tell there was more of a fire surrounding it at one point.
And I mean, right before I cut and right after I cut, that whole area is covered in firefighters.
Yeah.
They just cleared so I could drop this flaming tree.
Oh shit! Aries has a fucking capital Y chromosome. You are a fucking titan, sir. That's fucking outrageous.
Well, here's the weird thing. Like, they were like, "Can you cut that tree?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can cut that tree." Like, it didn't even occur to me that it was on fire. Like, I started examining it. Like, which way is it gonna fall?
Well, and it's funny too because examining the video, it's not like the top of the tree is on fire and you're cutting at the bottom. Like, the lower portion of the tree is what's on fire where you're cutting.
Oh yeah, that's what I was looking, because I do have it's on my work phone, but I have a shot of the tree before I cut it, and you can just see it's just engulfed in flames. Like, that's it's on fire. That's just what it is.
Now, did you go home early? You were like, I'm out, brother. I'm fucking.
Oh no. I got overtime. I don't know if we can.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's what I walked up to. I mean, it's hard to see because I'm flashing a phone to a camera. So
right. But then what also he's not telling us is that afterward he flung the remnants of the tree 4 counties over with one swift jump.
Hulk style, yeah. Evil Corny says, Ravenshadow, you can go there and you won't even need a lighter.
It's true. It's true.
And Denny is hanging out on Facebook watching, and he says the video was like a Thor moment. Fire, trees going down. Looks awesome.
Right? It was fucking Ragnarok, brother. And congratulations, Danny, too, by the way. Brother, that's cool. But yeah, you're such a man, Aries. You are such a fucking...
But
there was nothing manly about it.
Wait,
any male or female could have tackled that.
Tough.
You're such a human, Aries.
You're such a human. A badass. Is badass is fair to say?
That's fine. That's gender neutral.
You are a badass, sir.
Complete badass.
Because there were a couple female firefighters fighting along out there in the woods, doing everything that everyone else was doing.
I would be scared of ticks. I would be with the.
There's a fucking fire, and Ravenshadow does not give a fuck. He's scared of ticks.
Scared of ticks.
Well, that's when they come out even more.
Actually, well, you know what made this whole thing even more peculiar was that I needed to take a boat to it.
The fuck?
It was so deep, like it would have been a 2-mile walk or a short little boat ride. So I'm like, they got an inflatable boat and I'm handing chainsaws. I'm like, yeah, be careful. I just sharpened these.
Wait a minute. I'm fucking fascinated. Fuck this movie. So you had to cross the river like Mordor to get an inflatable boat?
No, it was on a reservoir. It was on a peninsula.
These are all things I should know, but I'm not sure. So it's a peninsula.
He had to cross the river Styx,
right?
Yeah, to get to the fire pits and cut down a fire.
Yeah, Josh. Who was that fucking guy in Clash of the Titans? Fucking Karen, Chris Karen. Who's the fucking the guy with the fucking underworld with the balloons?
Balloons?
Yeah, so Ares is literally crossing the river Styx to get to the flaming tree in Mordor to cut down for a giant eagle to bring him on break. Like, this is outrageous.
Maybe the Reservoir 7. I don't know. It was a reservoir, and there was a peninsula. A peninsula is essentially an island, but there's a little piece of land connecting it to the main body. And silence tells me you're still confused. Yeah.
No, I'm just like an infant to you. I
know. Picture an island, but it's actually touching land. Like, it's the best
just
way I can
on one
describe
side, the Ravenshadow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just imagine like a finger sticking out from the mainland.
There you go. I fought a fire on a finger. There you
go. Oh man, yeah, that's a pretty epic fucking story. I think we have at least this week. Aris has a new nickname: Chainsaw Mjolnir. I think you said that, Ravenshadow. So,
thank you.
It's good. All right. Well, we should probably start to wrap this up because I do want to jump into the movie here soon. I'm trying to see if there's any. I thought there was some other stuff. I should take notes when there's so much stuff. Oh, by the way, I don't know if any of you guys have. Actually, it might affect Aries the most, but were any of you guys affected by the school loan thing that Biden just signed?
Oh, yes.
Okay, good. Did I assume it's your son you're referring to?
Both my child and my spouse.
Oh, okay. And did either of them have the Pell Grants?
Yes, they did.
Good. Okay, awesome. Aries, Aries, did you buy like the finest whiskey you could find today? You should. Oh shit.
Yeah, we've been waiting for this for a while. Like, we've been watching because is this the time he's going to announce it?
Yeah.
It's been rumored for so long.
Same with T-Dog. Like, just is this finally it? Is this going to be it?
Yeah.
She also had a Pell Grant, so it's 20K. 20K off. Still a lot, but hey, it's something.
Hey, every little bit helps.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's awesome. Ravenshadow, how about you? You got school loans still? No, just kidding.
And you know what? I just want to say one thing because I don't like to get too political with this because there are some people that are up in arms that the government is helping out working class, middle to lower class people. The government's been helping out industry for years.
Oh shit, yeah.
Years. It's about time that they help out the people rather than big business. So, you know what? If you're up in arms about them helping out people, then you know what? Then you should have kissed the American auto industry goodbye. You should have kissed the farmers goodbye. Like, there is so much industry that has been helped out over the years.
Yeah.
It's about time they helped out people.
Yeah.
Oh, what about when all the banks almost collapsed and they were like, "Oh, we're too big to fail"?
Yes. Exactly. You
yeah.
know what? And that's that's about as political as I like to get on this show.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, well, that's good. Glad it's affected some folks. Okay, well, let's start to wrap this up, and let's see. I put it out there. I haven't finalized a date yet, but this is relating to sort of a Patreon thing. But Ravenshadow and I, on the last Patreon show, we did the soundtrack to the apocalypse, and what we're going to do is, let's see, okay, here's the vote. Okay, so yeah, I got the vote. I'm going to probably let it go for like another, oh shit, it's this weekend. So maybe I'm just going to make the call now then, so that we can get it out there for people listening. We had put out a vote for the best day to do our sort of live stream that we're going to do. And what we're doing is we're putting together a playlist, and Ravenshadow and I, and if Aries can join us as well, we're going to basically be like radio DJs, and we're going to go ahead and play the playlist. And we'll talk in between like songs here and there, but probably go like 3 or 4 songs do a little bit of talking. And also, we have some folks who submitted their own songs as well. And if you guys are Patreon supporters and you have not done so yet, I would recommend getting those songs submitted right away, because we have, let's see, we have a few. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, I think. But I'd like to see if we can get some more on there, so it's not just our selections. We get some more of folks out there in listener land, and hopefully you guys can join us for this, because it should be kind of a cool thing. And as of right now, the date that has the most check marks next to it is Saturday, August 27th at 8 p.m. So does that still work for you, Ravenshadow?
Yeah, baby, I'm ready.
Okay, so let's do it. This Saturday, August 27th at 8 p.m. We will be doing the soundtrack to the apocalypse, and we'll basically be doing like a 2 or so hour DJ set, if you will. We'll be playing music, we'll be hanging out and talking in between. And if you guys have submitted your own songs, if you're available to listen live, we will pull you in to the conversation when your song is up. And, I could try to let people know roughly what time that'll be. But this is kind of a one-time only deal, because we can't release it because of copyright. So we won't be able to release this. This will be kind of a one-time deal. I may be able to make a playlist on, like Apple Music or Spotify or something like that I can share out afterwards. So if you guys wanted to listen to the playlist, you could do that. But I would recommend checking it out live, because, you won't get the banter and the talk and all that. So that'll be happening this Saturday, August 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Discord. So if you're not part of our Discord, I'd recommend joining. And in order to be invited to this, you have to be a Patreon supporter. So Patreon is as little as $2 a month. That's it. That's your entry fee. That's your cover charge. So if you guys want to join up, it's as little as $2. We have other tiers. You can get higher than that, but that's all it's going to cost. It's less than a fucking venti mocha frappa fuccuccino, right, Ravenshadow?
Yeah, it's cheaper than a fucking frappuccino. It's cheaper than a fucking Al Pacino. It's fucking it's fucking chinos. You know what I mean?
Like what? Like the shoes?
Yeah, I thought chinos weren't
pants.
chinos pants.
Yeah,
Pants.
whatever. Yeah, pants. You wear boat shoes with them though.
I don't wear boat shoes, bro.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
So, all right. Well, there you go. So check it out on Saturday, August 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern on Discord. We're going to have a live stream. Discord does live stages, basically, and you're going to join that. I'll create an event for it. So you guys go to our Discord channel, and you should see that pretty clearly. So looking forward to doing that with y'all and seeing what we could do. All right, so talked about the Patreon. If you guys do want to join, patreon.com/trickortreatradio. And as I mentioned, for as little as $2 a month, you can join these live events. You can get the Patreon exclusive episodes and all that. So give it a look, patreon.com/trickortreatradio. And a couple other ways you can help support the show through Amazon. We have an Amazon link on trickortreatradio.com. Just scroll down, look for the Amazon logo, click it. It's going to bring you to Amazon. It inputs our affiliate link. Everything you purchase in that session is going to get attributed to us. It doesn't cost them any extra, Michael Ravenshadow.
But it's another way to help buy chainsaws.
Look at you.
Mixing it up. So, yes, we could use all the chainsaws. Aris needs more chainsaws, so.
Yeah, because I didn't mention I did cook one.
Good thing it didn't cook you.
And
So
remember, he said that chainsaw was almost big enough. That implies he needs to go and purchase a bigger chainsaw.
that is true. Which is crazy.
I am a size queen. Size
Yeah.
matters.
Yeah, 36-inch minimum.
36. Oh, man. So there you have it. Yeah, help Aries out. And finally, we have the greatest hits of Trick or Treat Radio, volumes 1 through 3. You can find them on trickortreatradio.com in the store. Got some digital files. Get an email to you right away as soon as you buy them. You don't have to wait. No shipping. No shipping and handling charges, Ravenshadow. None of that.
Fuck that.
So you get them right away, and you can check out the history of Trick or Treat Radio over the, I'd say, first 6 or 7 years, I think, is when we, last time we did those. So you can check them out and give them a listen. $3 a pop. All right, Ravenshadow. So you sit down to watch a cosmic horror about a glory hole in a rest stop. What in the world did you do to prepare, or what in the universe did you do to prepare for this one?
He unzipped his fly.
I pulled it. I went on 146, and
Oh boy.
and on the off ramp. No, Aries. I drove through a fucking blackout. I'll tell you that much. There was a fucking Aries. You hear about this in the city in Worcester? The fucking power went out from my job. No.
I avoid the city as much as I can.
I'm too busy fucking cutting down fucking flaming trees. So fine.
What do you fucking want from me?
No, apparently nothing. Nothing now, because I'm a god of fucking.
I'm sorry if I can't relate to your traffic light outage.
It was from fucking where Rocket Jock is to the fucking airport where not Golden Pizza, Freshway Pizza is. There was no traffic lights. Josh, it sucked.
I'm sorry, Ravenshadow.
I wanted to... All right, well,
did you have to get out and fist fight people for who was going to go?
No, it all was pretty fucking overall.
You know what sucked? Cutting down a flaming tree.
That sounds difficult.
Yeah.
You know what extra sucks? Is when he threw that tree, it took out the power in Worcester.
Yeah, Aries is responsible.
You know what? This is going to be my go-to for weeks now. Anytime you complain. Anytime you complain about something, I'm just going to go to cutting down flaming tree.
Whenever he's like, I had a really hard day at work.
Yeah, just cut down flaming tree, and he's just going to shut up.
So you better believe. I strapped on.
You go through your week with the same old routine.
What you really want is some blood and thunder in your life.
Well, friend, you found it.
The Chromecast is an adventurous journey through the history of two-fisted pulp stories.
With your hosts, John,
Josh,
and Luke.
We have action,
horror,
and adventure, all through the lens of pulp luminary Robert E. Howard.
Don't just stay in your ordinary life.
Find your pulp life at thechromecast.blogspot.com.
The Chromecast.
The Chromecast.
The Chromecast.
A podcast for the barbarian at heart.
Trick or Treat Radio, man. That's where it's at. That's the new Fangoria Radio.
The following message is a paid advertisement for the Cult of Muscle podcast. The Cult of Muscle. You're either in it or you're dead.
It's the dawning of a new age. The halls of Valhalla have been shuttered. The heroes of yore have either retreated to the shadows or taken to capering for the amusement of the small folk. Their past glories a distant memory. The barbells have been torn from their once puma-strong grips. The beards shorn from their square jaws, only to be transplanted onto flannel-clad, puny weaklings with fingers barely powerful enough to strum a ukulele. The time has come, my brothers, to restore order from the chaos. No longer will our heroes be forgotten. No longer will their great deeds be viewed through a foggy lens of irony. Hear now our rallying cry as we scream it from the mountaintops, as we bellow it from iTunes and Libsyn and Facebook. It's time to join the cult, my brothers. So don your cloaks and enter the Cult of Muscle.
This is Chocolate Beast. You're listening to Trick or Treat Radio, but you should be eating nougat.
All right, we are back on Trick or Treat Radio, and it's time for our featured film discussion. And this week, we're going to be talking about the film Glorious. This film got a release on Shudder just last week, and it is an hour and 19 minutes. It is a horror thriller from director Rebecca McKendry. And it is written by Joshua Hall, David Ian McKendry, and Todd Rigney. And the film stars Ryan Quanten, J.K. Simmons, or the voice of Torty Clark, Sylvia Grace Krim, and Andre Lamar. Pretty small cast in this one. I recognized Ryan Quanten, the lead in this, who played the character of Wes, and I was trying to figure out.
He
go
was
ahead.
in Knights of Badassdom
Yeah.
and on True Blood.
That's exactly Knights of Badassdom is the one I was thinking of. Funny enough, I'm trying to think if I've seen. Oh, he was in that TV series Them, which I never checked out. But I've definitely seen his face, and I've seen him in a couple things. I guess he was in Jason Stackhouse in True Blood, which I didn't. I think I saw the first 5 episodes and never went back. But so Knights of Badassdom is probably the one that I remember him from. So, and just like everyone else, he was in Law and Order, Special Victims Unit. Literally, I feel like that's like a rite of passage if you want to be an actor or an actress. You got to be in Law and Order. Ravenshadow, you don't have to flip the hair. Your hair's not that long anymore. I saw you do this, but you don't have long hair anymore.
It's phantom.
Phantom hair.
It's like phantom limbs.
So I was going to joke that Law and Order for actors is like back when we were young and you wanted to build credit, and they said, "Oh, to start building credit, go get like a store credit card."
Yeah.
Like that was like the entry level. So that's like in order to be taken seriously, you have to do a Law and Order.
It's true.
Dun, 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 dun.
So, let's see. And as we mentioned a little bit earlier about Rebecca McKendry, we have a mutual friend. I've never met Rebecca, but you guys might remember Coop, my buddy Coop, who I talk to literally every day in the Five Hossman. He used to work with Rebecca at Fangoria. So Rebecca was, I think they had if I'm not mistaken, I think they had an office in Virginia, and Rebecca worked there, and that's where my buddy Coop knew her from. So, but Rebecca's, obviously gone on to host a lot of podcasts, as we talked about earlier, and now is getting into directing. And she does have, quite a few shorts to her credit. Her first feature film was All the Creatures Were Stirring, which was 2018. And then Psycho Granny in 2019, which I don't know why I haven't seen that one with a name like that. It's not.
It's a Lifetime movie.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, it's no Rabbit Grannies, I guess, right?
No.
Okay.
Shit. That scared the shit out of me back in the day, bro.
Rabbit Grannies?
Yeah.
Why?
Because grannies are nice people.
Yeah, but it's like a schlocky movie.
Well, Ravenshadow is easily frightened.
Yeah.
And you've never met a mean granny?
Well, yeah, I mean, not mine, but I mean other people's.
Yeah, well, not yours, but yeah. I believe that's probably the premise of it.
That scared me, though. I think they had the cover of like the granny, like almost like the Clampett granny, like with like a cauldron of like blood, right? Wasn't that scary? That was fucking terrifying.
I don't remember Cauldron. I'm looking at a poster now. It doesn't have it, but
no, doesn't it have like 2 grannies standing behind a kid or something like that?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious about the Lifetime movie one, the Psycho Granny. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Like, for some reason, I'm curious as to what that's about.
So
I'm gonna give you 2 guesses given the title.
I don't know. I mean, it's probably not as interesting as I think, but for some reason, Psycho Granny Lifetime movie, I'm like, I'd turn that on. I don't know. Like, be very disappointed, but I definitely turn that on.
And it would turn you on, Aries.
So, also, I want to say I looked around and I couldn't find any old programs to narrow down exactly which ones, but there was a year at Rock and Shock, because I do not know Rebecca McKendry, but I have been in touch with her through Facebook and the internet, and have had I know people that know her. So probably about 10 years ago or so, when doing the Rock and Shock Film Festival, we programmed one year a whole block of short films that her and kind of her group, like circle of friends, had made.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
It looks like her next film could be interesting. It's called Elevator Game, and it's about the online phenomenon. Have you guys heard about the Elevator Game?
No.
It's basically I don't remember how it goes, but it's like a ritual where you have to go to like this floor and that floor and do this and that, and then it opens up. Yeah, it opens up like a door to another dimension.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like it's an online, sort of thing, or I guess in a way, it was the old sort of urban myth kind of thing, but now it's like an online sort of thing.
Didn't we talk about that a while back?
Yeah,
I think we did, probably
yeah.
about a year or so ago.
We talked about it with someone, I think. I want to say it was Freddie from Mixtape Massacre. I don't actually remember, but I do remember talking about that. It was definitely with a guest. So,
if it was you, Josh, you fail.
Oh, it was not me.
I remember. I think it was Double D called in a voice message.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, because he was saying that like.
That's exactly what it was. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's a cool idea to do for a movie. So that's what she's apparently working on next. And let's see, I think it's in post-production now, so it's already filmed. So it's great. So Glorious. The synopsis for this one: after a breakup, Wes ends up at a remote rest stop. He finds himself locked inside the bathroom with a mysterious figure speaking from an adjacent stall. Soon, Wes realizes he is involved in a situation more terrible than he could imagine. I'm sure, Ravenshadow, could you imagine a more terrifying situation?
Well, I mean, I can imagine quite a bit. But let's just say I was kind of on the edge of my seat of what the denouement might be.
So, all right. So this is it's an interesting film. Let's see. I think it before we get into sort of, and I mean, the plot synopsis pretty much sums up what you need to know, because the bulk of this takes place inside this rest stop in this bathroom. But I feel like there's definitely some stuff here that we can dig a little bit deeper. I think this works on 2 levels. Like, it's one of those films where on the surface, it is a sort of cosmic horror, like a very small, like a lot of cosmic horror can get very epic, like on an epic scale, where it is like worldwide, right? Whereas this, I thought it was really kind of ironic that it was the complete antithesis of that. It was in a literal bathroom stall, so it couldn't get it almost couldn't get any smaller than that, And I think it was super smart for like a low budget film to do this, and I feel like, I mean, we'll get into it more, but I feel like the setting didn't overstay its welcome. Like, I feel like it was interesting enough where having it take place in a bathroom, you know, like if someone told you that ahead of time, you might be like, well, like what's going to happen? It's going to be kind of boring, right? Not much is going to happen. So go ahead, Ravenshadow. I see you chomping at the bit there.
Well, it's fucking absurd, right? And to your point, like, right, it's not like if it was a comic series, a mega crossover with a bunch of different books. This was one series kind of doing this. But yeah, like, I mean, right from the jump, if you listen to the show, you know my love for movies that could be stage plays.
I knew you were going to go there. Yep.
And this literally could be a stage play. And I'm a huge mark for shit like that.
No, see, I disagree. I don't think, even though this was primarily in one area, I don't think this could have worked as a stage play, because there was so many little subtle things and camera angles that were pivotal to the story.
That's fair, yeah.
But you could do lights, though. I mean, they made like what? I mean, I didn't see it, but didn't like Miss Saigon have a helicopter? You know what I mean? Didn't they do?
Yeah,
like...
but I don't think this could work. That is my opinion. I'm not saying you are wrong. I am just expressing my opinion towards that statement.
Well, Josh, I guess we can't all cut down flaming trees.
Nope.
I mean, you gotta let up to, Michael.
You cannot. You can't. Definitely. You cannot.
I can't. No.
Why do you have to take that personally if I disagree with you?
I was just having fun with you. I'm still impressed. I'm remarkably like.
Are you jealous?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love you. I'm having fun.
You funning him?
I mean, just to be fair though, if Michael Ravenshadow had cut down the flaming tree, that's the video that would be looping right there. Like
oh, yeah,
instead of
for
us
sure.
seeing him and see.
I would have
it
would miss.
It would all be CGI.
Yeah, not practical.
Ravenshadow, we could, obviously I don't have the capability because I'm not up there with you guys, but we could film some green screen stuff and make it look like you cut down a flaming tree. Or walked out of fire. You could walk out of like a mine that's on fire. Imagine that.
I just want us all to walk out of something blowing up in the background. That's all I want before I die.
MZ blowing up a toilet? Is that okay? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, walking away covering our mouths.
Yeah. All right, so let's get back to the flick here. So so we have Wes, who is our lead here, and Wes pulls up to a rest stop, and so right off the bat, I'm getting like kind of what I guess I'm kind of getting the cut of this movie's jib right away. Like when the whole thing with the vending machine. Because there's sort of like a line there where, he's like, these things never work for me or something like that, or something along those lines. And the woman who's sitting there, who is a kind of a weird, weird woman who we don't really know her deal, but, she basically says, you have to listen to it, or like, I don't remember exactly what she said, but like, I got the sense that they potentially were going somewhere with this, where this guy is not being receptive. He's very much like a blunt hammer when it comes to things. And, obviously he is dealing with a breakup. We don't really, at least in the beginning, don't know the details of it. But we can tell he's kind of like down on his luck. He's sad about something, and there's like a bear, and he's seeing visions of his ex, and he's also in rough shape because he's fallen asleep at the wheel and having these visions and stuff like that.
And he's almost not quite on the run, but like he's packing, he's going somewhere. Things in the car, he's leaving something or chasing something.
Oh, I get the feeling he was living out of his car.
Yeah, and
he wasn't necessarily fleeing from anything. That's just That was just where he's living.
Yeah, and the woman said as much. The woman who helped him with the vending machine. She said
It's something about cleaning out the back of the car.
Yeah, so you can lay down to sleep.
Yeah, exactly. So, he's having kind of a rough go of things. We don't really understand the full extent of it at the beginning of the film here, but then he drinks. He kind of goes on a bit of a bender by himself, and he gets horribly hungover, and then the next morning has to go puke his guts out in this horrifying bathroom. And as he's, leaning against the bowl, this disgusting bowl, he hears a voice from the next stall. And, the voice, we assume it's just a person who's in the next stall, that's just talking to him, which is always weird. Has anyone ever talked to somebody while they're in a stall? Is that something anyone has done before?
I've had someone try to talk to me once. I didn't respond.
Hey, bro, how's it going?
Yeah, it is weird. It was just like a hey, and it's like, nope, not gonna happen. Like, nope. Sorry.
Like, did you see that guy cut down that flaming tree?
You get that turd. Show him who's boss, boy. Come down, But no, I mean, overall, the unwritten rule is you don't talk in the men's room, right? Like, you could do a head nod, yeah, how you doing? But overall, unless you're doing lines, you really shouldn't be talking in the men's room.
Well, just bathroom in general. I believe that would carry on to the woman's room as well.
No, but they have pies over there. They got fucking
parties.
They got pies.
How do you know?
Parties or pies?
Pie party.
The party.
Pie party. Okay. That's a weird thing. Is this like a weird thing with the pie?
I don't know, but it's all like a whole social thing. It's like a book club, from my understanding. I'm not sure, but no, but like we see him on down his luck, and he also has some artifacts that he has.
Artifacts? He's not a fucking archaeologist.
Yeah, he's like the Indiana rest stop,
Indiana rest stop.
But no, but he's like he's burning something. So he's almost has a. So before he even what compels him to get his drink on, he's almost like he's exercising some memories. From his box.
I mean, he's clearly, he's hurt. There's something going on, and he's sort of like trying to exorcise the demons and also drown his sorrows, literally drown them. And so, he wakes up in this. He goes to the filthy bathroom, and then, as I was saying, a voice is talking to him from the stall next to him. And the stall has what looks like sort of like a Cthulhu-like Lovecraftian creature drawn on it. And there's a hole like in the middle where the mouth goes. And I think it's assumed, I mean, it's never like explicitly stated as far as I recall that it was like a glory hole, right? Like,
if it's at crotch level, it's a glory hole.
I mean, it's not been explicitly stated, but I have heard the director joke on podcasts that she's like, yes, I made a glory hole movie.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, that's how I originally heard about this movie. Was the short description was a demonic glory hole.
Yes. Plus, it's referenced in the title.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. Glorious. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's sort of where we're starting out here, and I don't remember the name of the guy in the stall or the god in the stall. Gat is I guess the short name, so we'll use that. But he had sort of a like a Lovecraftian name that was unspeakable. Like, it's very difficult to pronounce and say. And, so he's kind of this normal chatter, and then all of a sudden, like he says, "Oh, I'm a god," like, and then, so Wes, who is hungover and just puked his guts out, and he's trying to wash his hands, because he had them all over this disgusting toilet. And I love that scene where, Gat, who's played by J.K. Simmons, is just a voice. He just does voiceover for this. He tells him like how all oh well, there's fecal matter and vomit and semen and
the 27 samples and blah blah blah. Yeah.
It's pretty. It really kind of made it you felt the filth, right?
Well, you know what? It's like 2 seconds before the character realized it, I'm like, why are you touching your face, man? I just was like, don't, oh, you're doing it. And then it became a thing, and I'm like, oh, thank God. Like, I thought it was just going to be like brushed over, like, you touched that toilet. Like, God damn it. You know?
Yeah, it was rough.
It wasn't quite the toilet from like fucking Desperado, but it was fucking close. Like, I mean, Aris, like Josh, living room, club baby head.
Oh yeah, I've seen many bathrooms worse than this one.
Excuse me, I worked at Ralph's. Okay, so that's
right. Like, I mean, like, you know, not only wakes up with fucking at the burning shit with this, you know, boxes of fucking shorts on and just a shirt, and now he's fucking like, the way he's in the bowl. Like, Mary and I were watching it, and literally we were like fucking like convulsing. Like, why touching everything?
I wouldn't hug my own toilet bowl like that.
Right.
Let alone a rest stop bathroom.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's really this one. You know, it's got like two stalls and like a urinal or two urinals or something like that, and like a couple sinks. So it's like a relatively small space. And in there, Wes is having this conversation with this old god, I guess we could call him. And, you know, the old god sort of had his own story, his own kind of history. But that's really what really matters is Wes's story, and it's interesting. So I'm trying to think of how deep. So I think on the surface, I think this works as a cosmic horror, like a very localized cosmic horror, and you know, he does say, Gat does say to Wes, you know, you're going to be a hero. You're going to save the world, basically. You know, so he feels that this is like he's doing something far greater than maybe what he is actually doing. And I won't talk about the end of sort of what he has to do, but you know, I feel that this works on the surface. And then I feel like if you want to kind of go beneath the skin a little bit, I feel like there is this is like an iceberg. There's like a whole lot below the surface. And I feel that this is a film that a lot of people can probably relate to more after the pandemic. You know, and I don't know everyone's experience, but a lot of us were home a lot, right? Especially the first year or even first several months of the pandemic. And, you know, obviously there's lots of distractions. We have the internet, we have games, we have movies, we have, you know, whatever. But invariably there's always going to be time where you just are with yourself. Like, and I feel this was almost like like Wes being forced to look into himself, like to examine his feelings and his emotions and all these repressed feelings and emotions, and to make sense of them, and to stop being so selfish, and to, you know, move through the world in the way that he had been, and to try to move through the world in a different way by offering something of himself, you know? So I thought in that regard, I thought that this was super smart, the way they went about it. I'm certainly not, this isn't my verdict. I'm just saying, like, in the way that they had this sort of, you know, under the surface duality of what was going on. I thought that it was really a smart way to tell it, because I think it worked on the surface level, this localized cosmic horror. But if you dug deeper under the surface and you were able to sort of ascertain what they were referring to, I feel that this is a very interesting, introspective, powerful film in that regard. Do you guys, so did you guys get any of that? Is this more of a surface level flick for you guys?
No, I mean, I did get the dual layer. I'm not 100% on board with the not on surface realizations being 100% clear. I thought they could have been a little bit more to it. I didn't understand what was going, what the story was going for, and because of the short runtime, I thought they could have actually added a little bit more time and dove into that a little bit more and made it a little bit clearer.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I was going to say I definitely see where Aris is coming from with that. And I didn't necessarily mind that they left certain things very vague. But I also agree that, like, due to that, it's not as clear cut as maybe you make it sound. Like, I'm kind of in between you two, because I definitely say we can definitely infer a lot of things. But at the same time, like, I'm completely okay with the fact that they left some very vague things going on under the surface.
Yeah, and so, and I get what you're saying, Aries. I feel like with cosmic horror, I feel like you can sort of get away with a lot because you go with like cosmic horror, like there could be a lot of bizarre things that are being asked of you or done to you or whatever, like unexplainable things, you know? So for me, on the surface, the fact that it was abstract in a way about what he had to do, you know, I feel like that is like acceptable. All of that could be acceptable within this sort of genre of cosmic horror. But you know, I feel like where it really shines is when you kind of look beneath and to get sort of like sort of the emotional impact of what they're going for. I feel like that's when because it's really just, I always get these confused. I guess it's an analogy. The you know, like the part where he has to give something, you know, it didn't matter what it was in, you know, in the grand scheme of things. I think what's important is that he gave something of himself, you know, like that's really what it comes down to, is what is the important aspect of that. So I feel like some of that stuff is kind of superfluous, where it's like, okay, yeah, like it could have been this, it could have been that, it could have been this. It doesn't really matter what it was. And in sort of the idea of a cosmic horror, like it could have been anything, you know, and it would.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I agree with that it could have been anything, and they actually played that card very well.
Yeah,
and I loved that aspect of it, but the flip flop, the realization, his growth seemed to, it was a no, and then all of a sudden it was a yes. Like it happened a little too quickly for me, especially because, like I said, this movie has such a short runtime. They weren't trying to rush anything with this movie, and I just think they could have had it not drag out is a wrong term, because that it could have played out a little bit longer and it wouldn't have been so abrupt, because I feel this character was going through some very inner turmoil, and the fact that it just flip-flopped so quickly, I feel that's where this movie probably failed the most.
How about you, Ravenshadow? Do you have any thoughts about kind of what we're talking about here with the surface versus beneath the surface?
I mean, yes, and yes. I think it had the cosmic element feel, but also had an intersection of street level horror as well. And I think as we go on Wes's journey, we're thinking about we think we have this character figured out, but as it progresses, once again, this is a fucking movie that 95% of it takes place in a shitty fucking rest stop with fucking J.K. Simmons speaking from a stall with one dude with no pants on.
Yeah.
But yeah,
pretty much it.
You're fucking compelled. Like, where are they fucking going with this? And I think it gives you a lot. And I don't know.
I don't know.
But like, I don't want to say too much. But I didn't know where. You think you know where it's going, but I think Wes's story is remarkably interesting, and so is Cthulhu's story. I'm fascinated. I mean, not Cthulhu, but like take your tongue out and say the name.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I found interesting too, though, was, I understand they lay out what is being requested of him, but I also found it interesting that they made no attempt to explain why doing that specific thing would actually turn things around and save things.
And that's fair. So then you wonder how much is it, and then you wonder, like, is this in Wes's head?
Well,
is this really happening?
I mean, I have thoughts. That I don't necessarily want to. Well, you know what? Like, I guess the fact that it's unclear, it leaves it up to the viewer. I guess it doesn't really matter if we say, because it's just our opinion. We don't know. It's not clear, right?
Well, I think it actually it's laid out. If you think about it, like, it is laid out why that specific sacrifice needs to be made. I don't think I don't want to say it because that dives into too much of it. But if you think about it and what was said, it is explained.
All right,
and it is for a very specific reason.
I'll have to go back.
I do think. What was I going to say about? So sort of like, is this actually occurring? Is this in his head? Like, however you want to sort of like rationalize that. To me, I felt this. I feel like a lot of this, the way I viewed it anyways, was Wes talking to his ego, who he sees as a god. His ego is.
Oh, that's interesting. That's fucking interesting.
And like, that's kind of how I interpreted this, because he was so like quick to, very defensive and like all these things. And like, I feel like this was him almost like, they call it like shadow work. We're actually like kind of like integrating with his ego and talking to his ego, and that, but that's not very fun to do in a movie. Have a guy just completely just sit in a room and talk to himself, right? Like, that's not fun. So you have to do something different. And I feel like in this, Wes is actually just talking to his ego, and Gat is like the manifestation of that, And because they did talk about, they both had like daddy issues, so to speak, right? Like, there's a lot of similarities there. So I feel that's how I took it, and I feel that, once again, this is one of those movies that is open to interpretation, and maybe that's what the creators were going for, and maybe it's not what they're going for. But like, that's and one of the most telling things for me is when I need you to give something to me. I need you to give me the pleasure of this, or something like that. I don't remember how it was worded. But the first thing that fucking Wes does is, drops drops his fucking boxers and sticks his fucking ding dong in the glory hole. And he says, "Is that your answer to everything? Is just to stick your fucking dick in it?" You know, like that to me said that was kind of telling, right?
Well, I mean, to be fair, I thought it. Did anyone else like? He's talking to a glory hole, like.
Right.
That's what I thought. I thought he needed to stick his dick in the hole. Like, if I was there, my dick would have been in that hole. I am sorry. Maybe that says something about me, but if a fucking glory hole says, I need something to save the universe, that's what's going in the hole. Like,
yep.
But I think that's
cut down a tree, you stick your dick in a hole.
Yeah. Cut down a burning tree, stick your dick in a glory hole, you know. But I feel like that is, you know, going through the motions and doing what's, you know, like he wasn't thinking outside the box and looking. Well, all right. No pun intended on that one. But, you know, he wasn't really thinking. He was just acting. It wasn't.
Oh, yeah. Well, he didn't think. He said, I need this one specific thing for the save the universe. All right, and I'm talking to a glory hole, so obviously it's gonna be my dick. Like that was just he didn't didn't give it any thought.
Right,
I'm talking to a glory hole. Obviously, the glory hole wants my dick. Like,
well, I think that's the assumption that the movie wanted us to make.
Right.
Oh yeah, and it had me hook, line, and sinker. Like you call a movie glorious, he's talking to a fucking glory hole. His dick is going in there. Like that. I mean, great. His dick did go in there. It was wrong, but like that's.
I was just trying to picture J.K. Simmons in like a fucking sound booth making the sounds. I'm like, really? Like, he's a fucking good actor, man. But is he really gonna make those fucking noises? Like...
and at first, I thought it was asking that he like pleasure get. Like, I thought that's where it was going at first. You know. You know, it was going to go the other way, but yeah. So I thought that was super telling. So for me, that's how I interpreted this, and you know, maybe that's as you know, from my perspective of someone who has done a lot of work on himself in the last couple of years. Maybe that's my perspective now. You know, of seeing this, and you know, and seeing, you know, at times I felt attacked watching this, you know, I was like, oh yeah, oh man. Yeah. Like just in like not thinking about, like he was running away from his problems and trying to forget them, you know, and that's something that's very, you know, present in our world is, you know, we have so many distractions, right? Like there's fucking in our phones, our computers, whatever. Everything is a distraction, and I feel that that's his method for dealing with things is running away from them. As you could see, he wherever he was, he left home, wherever home was, and he was on the road, sleeping in his car, and literally running away from his problems. So this was him having to face them. He had no way out. There was no way out of this bathroom, you know, and he had to come out of it different and changed. And otherwise he wouldn't have, you know, like that's just that's the paradox of this is he had to come out different. And I still actually have some questions about the way it ended for like in terms of how it integrates into what I feel about this, but regardless, like that was, he could no longer run from his problems. He was face to face with his own ego. That's, once again, that's how I understood it. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. It's just how I viewed it, you know? And I think,
I hadn't thought of that, the ego aspect of it, but it definitely adds a new layer to things that I was viewing in this and my opinion on certain things.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm not saying you're right or wrong, but it definitely makes me think about it and makes me want to go back and watch it again, thinking about that.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually do want to see this again now because, you know, I didn't formulate some of my thoughts until the end. And now I want to kind of go back and see if some of that stuff was, like if it would be more obvious or something, But yeah, I mean, I think that overall, I mean, and I think there's some really great, I think you mentioned this, Ravenshadow. There's some really great camera shots in this that really stand out. And I mean, just a couple off the top is like there's one where there's a camera shot against a far wall and he walks close towards it. There's some great, like, just sort of perspective shots of like on the ground when like the ground starts to kind of rattle and there's like dirt and whatever like on the ground, and just some of the other camera work I thought was really just really well executed and really added a nice little element to this claustrophobic film.
They did a really good job of utilizing their space.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not sure if was this made during the pandemic.
I mean,
well,
the pandemic
we're
is
still in the pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So
Fair.
I would say yes.
But I think it utilized its space. It was a set. You know what I mean? Like it utilized what it could do to, I think, its fullest, which really, it gave a very small room, essentially, a sense of depth. And I think it was really interesting. I think it did a good job of, maybe you may feel a certain way about some characters, and then you go along a journey, maybe change. Like my thought of Wes from the beginning definitely changes as the movie progresses.
And I do really think that's deliberate.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. It was
Now,
a new work.
Did your perspective of Wes change for the better or worse?
Worse.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I don't know how you could think otherwise, I guess, but just wanted to,
Yeah, I didn't want to say it, but I guess you guys, into your question.
Well,
yes.
it's fine. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't think it's a spoiler. It's just we learn more about him, and
Ravenshadow's views could be suspect though, because it's already been mentioned that Wes has no pants because he woke up and he clearly got angry and burned his pants. And Ravenshadow did go on that rant against people wearing pants earlier.
Always take your wallet out. Don't. That's why I don't. Work your wallet.
Well, if you burned your wallet, it would burn for a month.
You'd have kindling for a fucking month. Well,
Yeah,
actually,
like,
you have a new wallet now, so.
Yeah, but the old one will be like fucking Kuwait back in the day. It'd be like, what the fuck? It's day 12. Ravenshadow's wallet is still burning.
Oh shit. Yeah, I'm kind of just glancing through a review here. I want to see like if other folks, kind of what they got out of it, just to see, because I'm curious. Let's see. We have in the chat, Creepy Girl just popped in, said, "Hey guys, just tuning in late. Wanted to hear your opinion on the flick." Hey, Creepy Girl. Yeah, we're I guess we've been talking about it for a little bit now, but we're still sort of working through some thoughts.
Hey, Creepy Girl.
So before we dive kind of back into it, in terms of the gore, I mean, there wasn't a lot, but I feel like what there was, it was effective. Like there's like kind of like one scene, I guess.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if the gore they had was effective, but the fucking set pieces was even more effective. Poop, semen, and piss are good fucking special effects.
Well, they didn't show any semen unless you were looking real hard, because I didn't see any.
He saw the particulates.
We watched it in Triple HD.
Triple HD.
But I will say that the set pieces were good, and especially any of the physical effects were fantastic.
Yeah, I agree. I think that there wasn't a lot of them, but what there was, I think they really got their money's worth.
I mean, I wouldn't go so far as to say fantastic. I just thought they were good. I'm sorry. I'm just being honest. I mean, it's a low budget movie. It was, but like, it wasn't like I was like, oh, that's fucking bullshit. But it wasn't like, the $1 billion movie. So it was for what it was. It was adequate.
Let's see. I'm trying to think. I thought the score was good too. It was pretty minimalistic, but I thought that it added a nice little kind of feel to it. Well, I did really like the camera work, like I said, and there's some flashbacks, and I thought or maybe not necessarily flashbacks, but we cut to other locations, which I thought the way they did that was good, and it kind of just it was enough to break up that one sort of location where they did some different stuff, and I feel like that was pretty effective. So,
and I'd say, given what we learn ongoing, I'd say they definitely were flashbacks.
Yeah, it's there were definitely flashbacks. I feel like if we're going with the idea that I said about this being sort of like talking to his ego, it was in a way kind of revisiting these thoughts that he didn't necessarily want to revisit. So they were kind of forced on him. And maybe, and you know what, like maybe ego isn't the right word. It could be, it was really like, because I almost, the more I think about it, I think more of Wes maybe was the ego, and maybe he was talking to the id, because Gat was a little bit more, basically you need to face these things, you need to do these things. It was, whereas the ego, I feel like, it's kind of the opposite,
I agree with that. Ego is probably not the best word, but I do think that the God being was not necessarily the person. He was the whatever the correct term would be.
I mean, would you say conscience?
Yeah, I thought about that too, but I feel like that's not enough of a.
That seems like oversimplifying.
Right.
Yeah, it seems like it needs to be a little more focused.
Yeah.
There's probably a better term that a smarter group of assholes could think of.
Well, there is. I mean, I guess if we're talking about Freud, there's the id, the ego, and the superego. So let me just read these, because I would not do a very good job of trying to convey them on my own memory. But in the ego psychology model of the psyche, the id is the set of uncoordinated instinctual desires. The superego plays the critical and moralizing role, and the ego is the organized, realistic agent that mediates between the instinctual desires of the id and the critical superego. So maybe in a way it is the ego, because it's organized, the realistic agent that mediates. So maybe that is accurate. But, I feel like it was his psyche. It was like that bathroom was like his psyche, like that room was him contending with all of these things that are going on, and just coming, like face to face with,
the shit, the mess.
Right.
Fuck.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I think it's such a great location. Yeah, and that's an astute point, Ravenshadow. Like, no one wants to get into the fucking, the shit and the filth of their life, but he literally couldn't leave it. He was in it. He was in the filth. He was covered in the filth. And that's not something that we want to do necessarily. Like, that's something that we avoid.
Yeah, and when the worse the situation got, the worse the filth got.
Exactly. You're right. That's also a good point. He had to go deeper and deeper and deeper into this until finally, and that's why. Well, another thing, just not that I take exception, but when you said, Aris, that it was kind of like a quick change of heart. Like, I feel like almost like I get what you mean, but I feel like it almost is like a breaking point of, in order to get out of this fucking situation, he had to change something about himself, you know? And so I feel like that was sort of like the breaking point of, I need to do this, you know? So, I mean, if the filmmakers, if you know, if the writers and Rebecca, if that was sort of their idea going in, like, I think that's even more brilliant, of having it in a fucking filthy restroom, because that's the place that people don't want to go, like in their own psyche, deep down into the fucking filth, to weed through it and to, you know, kind of make sense of it, right?
The fucking rest stop of our fucking mind.
Yeah, that might be a contender. But yeah, I mean, that's why I think it's like, it's such a great analogy for it. And, you know, whether or not the film worked for you, like, that's still, you know, to be determined. But I feel like that is such kind of a cool gimmick, you know, a cool way of looking at it. Whether or not it works, it's like, wow, like, yeah, because a lot of us just don't want to do the work. We don't want to get into the fucking filth and do the hard work to come out of it on the other side better and different and changed, you know? So that's why I think the cosmic horror in this works so well, because it explains so much. I mean, cosmic horror is the unknown. Like, you don't even have to explain something for it to actually work. You know, like, oh, he can't leave this place because there's like a barrier, you know, that's not letting him out, and you know, he can go through the vent and it'll just lead him right back in, because you know, it's cosmic horror. Makes sense.
Well, to be fair, the whole Lovecraftian end of cosmic horror is kind of built on the concept that something is so insane or horrible that it is undescribable.
Yes, yeah.
So, I mean, it opens the door to all sorts of situations that cannot be explained or will not be explained.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So,
yeah,
it's one of those things, like, I mean, I wouldn't have thought about this, you know, but I think it works really well, putting them together and to make a film, you know, the way they did. And once again, maybe I'm reading too much into it. Maybe it's on the surface and that's what it's supposed to be. But, you know, I feel like now, with all the symbolism and everything that we're talking about, it makes sense, right? And, you know, and also, I don't know if it was necessarily a sort of you know, a look at toxic masculinity necessarily. I feel like that was a part of it, but I feel it was more someone who is so caught up in his ego and is escaping his problems and running from them, and less about the toxic masculinity. Although I think there definitely was an element of that, especially, you know, with him sticking his dick in the fucking glory hole, like, first thing, you know, like, you know,
I think it's definitely in there, but it's certainly not the focus.
Right. It's an element of it, but it's not the focus.
Yeah, well, because I think he actually says something about that. The key to the universe isn't your genitals.
Yeah.
Or,
exactly.
or something to that effect.
Yeah, he does. He definitely does say that. And, you know, that was like one of the things to me. It was like, yep, okay, I kind of see where it's going. But I feel like it had more depth to it than just sort of an examination of toxic masculinity. Although, I mean, it does broach that a little bit, especially with the discussion about, like, the dad and, you know, and you know, about his father and stuff like that. So I feel like it's almost like a lot of this sort of toxicity is passed down from generation to generation, whether or not we want it to. It just is kind of absorbed by witnessing the actions of a parent, you know.
So it's
yeah,
funny.
well, I mean, it was touched on, but also, you know, when they're speaking of the cosmic being in the offspring, they don't necessarily speak of sex. They just generically refer to offspring, and, you know, we're all assuming, because the character was played by a male, that this character was male.
True.
I mean, this character just could have been without sex.
And the character did say that, actually.
Yeah, I think he did. There was some line, I'm neither or
male nor female or something like that. Yeah. And it's interesting. T-Dog has been sort of like, examining sort of like masculine, feminine, and sort of in a greater sense. I'm not going to get all into her thoughts, but I think it's interesting because typically, if we look at it, masculine energy is typically more order, whereas feminine energy is like more chaos. And I don't mean in the traditional sense like chaos, like everything's fucking going crazy, but like a patriarchal society is more or it's put in place to have more order, to have more control, to have more rules. And if more women were sort of in roles of leadership, I feel like it wouldn't be so regimented. It would be more open and, I guess, in a sense, chaotic. And I don't mean chaotic negatively. I just mean order and chaos as two sides of a coin, So I think, I think that, there is an element of that, and having the character be neither, I think is important. It's not one or the other. It's sort of like just both. It's whether it's like a yin yang or whether it's just something that contains both or none, So I thought that was an interesting choice as well. So, man, we really got down into the filth there, into the shit and the piss and the vomit and the semen. All right, maybe not the semen. Let's leave that out of this.
Only Ravenshadow got into that.
Really?
You brought it up earlier.
Oh shit.
Cthulhu.
Yeah. Is there anything else you guys want to bring up? I know that. I mean, we could probably still talk a lot more about this, but I just want to, make sure we're kind of moving things along and not meandering too much.
No. I think we spoke enough on this.
Yeah.
People just should form their own opinions at this point, decide whether they want to examine it further.
Especially since at the surface level, it is like synopsizing this is a very short synopsis. And I feel like the more we discuss, the more we're in danger of giving away.
Yeah.
I'm not certainly not twists or anything like that, but like there's not a whole lot surface wise that could be delved into before you're giving away anything.
Well, I mean, I gotta tell you, I've heard about this movie a few weeks ago, and they spoke a little bit, in depth, but the short of it is, I heard it was a demonic glory hole played by J.K. Simmons, and I was like, I am on board. Like, I know that just that oversimplification of this, it was just like, I am on board. Like, I don't care ultimately what the story is beyond that. Like, you've piqued my interest enough that I want to check this out. And you know what? This movie didn't disappoint. Like, it delivered on the promise that was never made. Like, there's no promise made, but you know what? It delivered.
Yeah.
That's a great quote. It really is. It really is. Delivered on the promises that was never made. That's fucking good. That's fucking nice. I like that.
Ravenshadow, you should take notes.
My post-it notes with my pen.
Shit.
See, Aris is getting the box quote now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Look at that. All right. So I think we could probably head to the verdict on this one. So get the music queued up. There we go. Let's do it.
Trick or treat, baby.
I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, it is verdict time. We're going to let you know whether Glorious was a trick or a treat. Any final thoughts we may have? Let's start with Josh.
All right. So I had heard about this a few weeks ago also, so I was looking forward to seeing it. And again, much like Aris said, we knew very little going in, and it completely delivered on everything. So, especially on a surface level, I thought this film worked great. As far as some of the underlying stuff, I think I would have to go back and give it another watch. But just going for initial impressions, I thought that it was very well acted. It was well directed. I like the overall look of the film. I thought the effects were good. So I'm going to say treat and a recommend.
All right. How about you, Aris?
Yeah, I think if anyone can, put two and two together, they could figure out that I definitely enjoyed this movie. And as I said, I heard about this movie beforehand, but I'd completely forgot about it. I forgot the name of it. And when I turned this on, I didn't check out any of the actors. So it wasn't until the first time J.K. Simmons spoke did it click to me that it was the movie I'd heard about. Yeah. And I was like, oh, it's this one. And I wasn't paying attention. The movie had my 85% attention. I was leaning back watching it. He spoke and I was like, oh, and now I'm forward, and I sat up to watch the rest of this movie. And the character, the J.K. Simmons, he has that presence, that voice.
Yeah.
And I think the voice without him is actually more powerful than seeing him on the screen.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't know. I mean, not that he's, he's not like he's an ugly individual or whatever else, but he's just a mediocre person, but he has a voice. And in this movie, it is definitely a presence in and of itself. And I don't think you would find a better voice for this role. Not to say he's the best voice actor. He was just the perfect voice for this. So check this movie out. It is a short movie. As I spoke, there's little flaws with the running time, I feel, but ultimately it doesn't do it a huge disservice. Check this movie out. This movie is a treat.
All right, Ravenshadow.
No, I think Aries made some good points too. I mean, J.K. Simmons is an amazing actor. I mean, this dude can be fucking Schillinger from Oz, who is fucking downright terrifying. And then he can go to take a callback to Law and Order, where he plays the, kind of therapist, shrink, psychiatrist, to then the fucking, whatever the fucking insurance commercials, to fucking J. Jonah Jameson. I mean, this dude is the fucking shit. And he has the right level of cadence to play a fucking, demonic bathroom stall Damon. But I think this is a very cosmic horror with human introspection. And even if we've said a lot, but you still don't fucking know what's really going to happen in this picture. And there's still a couple of punchlines that you don't know about. So this was a awkward, uncomfortable, kind of enjoying is not the right word, but I did enjoy this picture despite the uncomfortability, if that's even a word. So we've had a good run lately. So this is definitely, it's more than a glory hole movie, but come for the glory hole, stay for the content.
Oh shit! Wait, come for the glory hole? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, come for the glory hole, stay for the introspection.
Come in the glory hole?
Yeah, well, I just want to make sure I'm clear about what you're saying.
Whichever comes first, I'm not sure. Don't
whoever comes first. What are you saying?
Yeah, how many people are at this thing?
And Josh knows.
Oh, shit. I like that cosmic horror with human introspection. That's good. So, yeah, for me, if it wasn't clear, I did really dig this movie. It's a treat for me. This, I feel like this works on both levels, as I talked about, and it's difficult to have a film that does that works surface level for the people who may not sort of get what's going on. But I feel like this is clear enough, but not hand-holdy, because we've seen films that hold your hand. Ooh, look at the subtext, like look at what we're doing here underneath, check this out. Look how smart we are. We've seen movies like that. This is not that movie. This is a movie that trusts the viewer to get what's going on. And I think that there is a lot of room for interpretation. Like we talked about, like the id and the ego and the superego and being locked inside your mind or your body and digging through the fucking filth and having to come out the other side a different changed person. I think that's, to be able to show that through art, I think is super well executed, to be able to have that work and to have us all appreciate it. We all dug this, we all gave it treats. So I think that definitely deserves praise, to be able to pull that off. It's a delicate balance to walk that line between having something work on the surface, and honestly, I don't know if I could put it better. Ravenshadow, cosmic horror with human introspection. It's that sort of giving you, okay, we've created this cosmic horror, this world where these things can happen, where we've established the rules in a sense. I mean, they didn't basically in cosmic horror there kind of are no rules. I think anything can kind of work with that. Within those confines. But I feel like, yes, there is a lot of human introspection about who we are. And I think that it's just a really smart film. I think people should check this out. It's funny, when I was explaining it to T-Dog, I was like, yeah, I don't know, this might be one you might want to skip. It's a movie about a glory hole. I don't know. And then after, right before we did the show, I was like, oh, yeah, we're getting ready to do the show. By the way, remember that movie I told you about the glory hole? Yeah, I think you might actually like it. So kind of funny, a little bit of a, you have to kind of get, not get through, because there's nothing to kind of get through, but it seems on the surface, it seems sophomoric, right? Until you get into it, and then you're like, oh, okay, well, this is actually pretty smart. There's a lot going on here. It's not just a fucking, rest stop glory hole cosmic horror, Right. So yeah, I think it's a really well executed film, really smart, well done, and it's a film that made me think, and it made me examine how I approach things. So to have a horror movie that works on multiple levels and has me being self-reflective, I think is that's pretty impressive. So yeah, I really dug this, and I think a lot of folks out there who are listening will also dig this. So it's on Shudder, so check out Glorious, and as we've talked about, it's a breezy 79-minute watch. So I mean, what do you got to fucking lose, right? All right, so that's going to wrap up our discussion of Glorious. And next week, let's see. I think I know what we're doing next week. Yeah. Okay. This one's.
I don't like when you giggle like that.
Yeah.
Well, it's the name of the movie makes me giggle. The name of the movie is Pussy Cake. Let me say that again. Pussy Cake. It is. Treat, yeah. It's a Argentinian film, and the original name is Emesis, and it is a struggling all-girl rock band who goes on a tour and discovers their worst problem is not just being forgotten by their fans. And the story, let me see if I'm Is this actually the right person? I think. Sorry, give me a sec here. I just want to see. I do know that there's some people involved in this that worked on Plague of Zombie, on the Plague of Zombie series, which is fucking. We did them on the show. Fucking amazing.
Plague of Zombie.
John West. John West. He's
John
the best.
West is the best.
So it's not. I don't think it's. I was trying to see. I know there's some people that worked on that worked on this. I don't have it in front of me right now. Actually, let me see. I did get an email from the PR about this. Let me just look it up real quick. But yeah, when I saw the name, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" It is coming to Screambox actually on August 30th, which is a few days. So if you guys want to check it out, you can check it out on Screambox. And let me see here. I'm just kind of So Pablo Perez, I think he is the director. Yep. So was he the director of Plague of Zombie? Yeah. So it's the director of Plague of Zombie, the original Plague of Zombie. I wonder if he did, and he did the sequel, Plague of Zombie Mutant Zone, which is fucking awesome. That's the one right there. That's fucking amazing. That's the best one. And did he do? He didn't do the third. Oh no, he did do the third one. Yeah, Revolution Toxica.
Oh shit.
Okay, so he did all three. He did all three Plague of Zombie movies. This is the same director, and he. Since then, I haven't seen anything he's done since Plague of Zombie Mutant Zone Revolution or Revolution Toxica, Toxic Revolution, which we did on the show years ago now. I think
years ago.
Yeah, it was a while. But I'm actually way more excited now that I know that. I was excited to begin with, but even more excited now that I know that it's the director of Plague of Zombie. So so we're gonna do Pussy Cake, and it sounds bonkers. It's I was just gonna try to read there's a few quotes I saw. This is the trailer. I don't want to watch the trailer right now. Okay, I did have I have some a PR sort of release about it, and there's some more info. But so it's going to drop on Screambox on August 30th, which is Tuesday. So if you guys want to check it out, Screambox has a 30-day free trial. If you guys want to sign up for that, you can check it out and come back and give us your thoughts next week on Pussy Cake. Say it over and over. I think that's probably the name. The name of the band is my guess. But cool. I guess we'll find out. So there you go, Ravenshadow. Are you excited now that you see Plague of Zombie?
I love that. We should talk offline, but maybe we should revisit some of these classics with some watch-alongs. That could be sexy.
Well, yeah. We'd have to get permission, I think. Yeah, we'll see. We got permission for Septic because we know the director, fortunately. But I think it would be fun to do something like that. Like Plague of Zombie is perfect for that. For a watch along.
Yeah.
The second one, especially Plague of Zombie Mutant Zone, is so fucking amazing. So, if you guys haven't seen those films, seek them out. You don't necessarily have to watch them all in order. I don't think it's kind of in a way kind of like Evil Dead, where you could just watch Evil Dead 2 and understand and appreciate it. But if you watch all of them, it you kind of get the greater story. So
they're all on YouTube, right?
That's a good question.
I think they were.
I'll look it up. I think you're right. They were at one time, but I don't know if they were legally put up there or not.
This is over 7 years ago.
So Plague of Zombie 2 full movie It looks like it is. Yeah, I don't know if it has subtitles or if you can turn on the closed captioning on YouTube, but Plague of Zombie, the original, Plague of Zombie 2, Mutant Zone is on there, and also Plague of Zombie 3. So yeah, all three are there.
Watch that shit. D. Check that out.
Plague of Zombie. Here, let me see if it has subtitles. I'm just going to play a little bit here. There's the guy that looks like Shawn Michaels.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. Okay, it does have subtitles. So, yeah, there you go. It's on YouTube. Check out Plague of Zombie. Plaga Zombie. So those are.
And now your show's been taken down for copyright infringement.
It's always taken down.
The bots heard that 3 seconds of audio.
Yeah. And I believe the director was also one of the leads in this film, if I'm not mistaken. Or, yeah, he's Bill Johnson. Ravenshadow is going to love this when he gets back. But, yeah, looking forward to that. So we're going to check out Pussy Cake. I just have trouble saying it with a straight face. Yeah, so that should be fun. If you guys check it out, you can get a free 30-day trial to Screenbox and check it out and let us know what you think. Send a voice message to podcast@trickortreatradio.com. Ravenshadow. Put your headphones on.
Yes.
So the director, Pablo Perez, is that's the Shawn Michaels looking guy.
Oh, the Brazilian Shawn Michaels?
I think, well, I'm just trying to look up a picture of him. I think Bill Johnson is his name in the movie. I think that's him.
Yeah, he's awesome. That was so much fun, those movies. Really enjoyed those.
Yeah.
I watched those.
Yeah, they're really good. Cool. So that's next week. We actually don't.
Pussy Cake?
Pussy Cake, yeah.
Pussy Cake.
Yeah, so Bill Johnson is the Shawn Michaels looking guy. And that's the director of Pussy Cake. So there you go. Come on, everyone else say it.
Pussy Cake.
Now none of us can say it.
I know. Now it's weird.
With Ravenshadow saying it, you're going to get a complaint.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I kind of want to go uptown to the baker and just go, I want a pussy cake, and just to see what I get.
Yeah, no, not a cookie puss. I want a pussy cake.
Cookie
puss. I think there's a bakery on Mass Ave that could give you that exactly.
Well, I don't want to go to that type of bakery. I just want to go to a normal bakery and see what I get. Like just walk in and go, I want a pussy cake. I'll be back tomorrow for it, and walk out and just see what I get when I come back tomorrow.
I want to film that more than I want to see you cutting down a flaming tree.
You know what? He should cut down a flaming tree and then eat a pussy cake.
Wowzers.
That's his payment for cutting down the tree.
Is this anything like a titty bucket, or is
now we're going off the rails.
Here, message Rocky. Ask him if he knows what a pussy cake is.
Yeah.
Yeah, just text him just the term. See what he says.
I think Hostess has that in their line of products.
See, that's the thing is next time there's a forest fire and they need trees cut down, they're going to call Aris and say, hey, can you come cut this tree down? And he's like, yes, but
I need a pussy cake.
Yes, but once the tree is down, I require one pussy cake.
Maybe Entenmann's.
Shit. Oh man. Yeah. All right. There you go. Can't wait to see this. We're gonna check that out next week. So, all right. We actually don't have any voice messages. Still.
Wow.
Oh, feels so empty.
No, that's because
What do we do?
That's because you cut down a burning tree, and nothing will ever be as exciting anymore.
I thought like people would call in and like want to talk about that. I don't know, because I want to talk about that.
It's fair. Like really, Ares cut down fucking a flaming tree.
Do you know how many times I've said those words over the last 2 days? I cut down a flaming tree. Like people are like, walk up, how's it going? Cut down a flaming tree. Like,
no, I would do that.
It's just my fucking greeting. I don't know. It's like it's not getting old.
He's gonna put it on business cards. He's gonna.
I just wish there was a clear shot of me actually cutting the tree down.
That's like his outgoing message on his voicemail now.
Like that's better than fucking that rock band Jackal. Cutting. I'm a lumberjack, baby, but you clearly literally cut down a flaming tree. Like I want like fuck Sword of Azrael. I want fucking flaming chainsaw of Ares. That's a fuck.
Oh man,
that's hot.
Yeah, literally, it is hot.
Yeah. I don't know, Aries, was it hot?
It was a little hot. You see, the beard is a little shorter now.
There was some singeing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So sexy.
Oh man, I want to find that John West song. I forget where that was in that movie.
West, he's the best. Josh, you saw those fucking pictures, right?
I saw the first two. I think I have them on DVD somewhere in the other room.
Are they next to Casablanca?
I know where my Casablanca is.
Sucks. I was actually looking at DVD last night, and I still couldn't find Casablanca.
Mm-hmm.
I just found more Power Man CDs.
I found the John West theme. Hold on. I was going to play it because I was talking about it. Now I want to hear it.
Viene del oeste, montando su caballo, amigo de los niños es John West. Es justo con los buenos, severo con los malos, fuerte con sus golpes es John West. Sus brazos son de acero, sus piernas de titanio, lucha por los buenos es John West. Tomando diligencias, muchachas en problemas, fuerte con sus golpes es John West. John West, John West, es el mejor. John West, es el campeón. John West, es el mejor. Un héroe, un vaquero es John West.
So good. I turned down a little bit. John West. He's the best. All right. So, yeah, I would recommend checking out Plague a Zombie. Check out all three. But especially Mutant Zone. That's the fucking one right there. But, yeah, I can't wait to actually see this movie now. I'm, like, super excited to see Pussy Cake. Evil Corny says, it's all pussy cakes and titty buckets for you these days, Wolfie.
So Wolfie's been awakened. Just depends.
Awakened.
Yeah. You're like Emmanuel in space right now. It's nice.
Emmanuel in space?
Yeah.
Was that your favorite one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was in Smallville.
What? She was in Smallville?
Yeah, Emmanuel in space played the teacher that ignited Clark's heat vision.
Oh, I thought she ignited something else.
It's a metaphor, but she also dated Clooney before what's her face from WWE.
Oh.
Dynamite drop Ravenshadow.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Josh knows, but like, I mean, probably MZ too.
I don't know. I mean, I know about Emmanuel in space.
Yeah,
do you
that's
know
a good.
I don't know about Smallville.
Yeah, Ravenshadow, you know about Emmanuel Lewis?
Yeah.
Is that the same?
Emmanuel Lewis in space.
He was not in space. No, he was in Smallville, but it would make sense if he was.
Emmanuel Lewis in space.
Emmanuel Lewis in space. Ma'am.
All right. Well, I guess we can kind of wind this down. Ended a little bit. Well, I guess it's on time, but a little earlier than we have been the last few weeks. Let's see. Trying to think if there's anything else. Do you guys have anything else to get off your chest before we wrap things up?
Did I mention I cut down a flaming tree?
No. Tell us all about it, Aris.
Is there a video, perchance?
Yeah. All right, so guess that's gonna do it. So, let's see. Corny says this is what shows up on IMDb under that title. Yeah, that's what I said. Corny, Emesis. That's the I assume the Argentinian name of the movie, and in the States they just change it to Pussycake because Pussycake sells. Apparently.
Maybe they were going for that thing where you combine two popular search terms on the internet.
Ravenshadow.
What are the two most searched words on the internet?
Yeah.
Pussy and cake. Yes, sold.
You know what? Now I hope they address this in the movie. Like, I assume that's the band name. I haven't seen the movie, so I assume that's the name of the band. But yeah, now who knows?
Was it Josie and the Pussycats?
Yeah.
Josie and the Pussycakes.
Pussycakes.
Then when they were in space, that was fucking dope.
What, Emmanuel Lewis in space?
No, Josie Pussycats in space. I like that.
Yeah, they jumped the shark in space. I didn't know that.
No, they were cool.
Space shark.
Yeah, space shark. They had space sharks.
Mm-hmm.
Over there.
All right, well let's wrap this shit up.
Go, yeah, it's not good. We're gonna keep going and go downhill over a cliff.
Yeah, we're already there. Josh, as always, fucking awesome having you on, buddy.
Yes, thank you for having me. I needed a good distraction this week.
Well, hopefully Ravenshadow provided that just by being there.
He usually does.
Yeah, and you know, Josh had a pretty tough week. I'm speaking for him, Josh. I don't want to. So I'm glad that you decided to spend some time with a bunch of assholes like us. Give you a little distraction. But yeah, I don't know. It's not my place. I don't want to say much more. But yeah, Josh had a tough thing. So I hope my heart goes out to you, Josh, and I hope everything's all right, man.
Thanks. Thank you all. If people don't know me online, it simply put, longtime pet is no longer with us. So yeah.
And it's not. I guess since Josh sort of brought it up, I will say that you're a fucking superhero, Josh, because you, both you and your partner Steph, I look up to you guys because of what you guys did to take care of your pet. So, I'm not saying you should be proud at this time, but you guys did a lot. And I know that that your pup was only given a certain amount of time, and she far exceeded.
Oh yeah,
that.
we got much more time with her than expected. And I don't think it's unreasonable to say that, we did all that we could within reason.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah, absolutely. So my heart goes out to you, both you and Steph. And I'm not. That's going to be the worst day of my life ever. So I'm not looking forward to that. So I feel for you, and I know Aries had gone through something similar recently. So. Maybe another time when there's maybe not so such a sensitive subject, but there's maybe we can talk more about the our other partners in life and not just our significant others, but
right.
Like I know. I think we all, I don't want to speak for anyone else, but I know for me I've had cats but in getting to know a dog, and Ozzy I'm talking about, like definitely changed me as a person. And that's another thing that, obviously it's been the last several years, but the last few years of, once again, the pandemic, of being able to spend more time together, it's created a stronger bond and all that. So it's, man, dogs are the best. That's all I can say. And it's like the greatest fucking tragedy that they, that their life expectancy is what it is, and we outlive them. It sucks, but all right, enough sappy stuff. Let's wrap things up. So, all right, Josh, feel free to, if you want to talk about the Discogs. I forgot to give the link, but if folks want to go ahead and check out your Discogs, they could go to discogs.com/seller/jgravel, and they could find all 300 plus albums that Josh is currently selling.
3,000 plus.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say 300?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm way underselling you. Jeez.
The fuck, Johnny?
I was looking at the number and I forgot a zero. So, yeah. So
it's been a night. I understand.
So yeah, go check it out if you guys are into vinyl, and also if you live in the New England area and you're friends with Josh, you post all the time, or you're going to shows. You have any shows coming up?
I think they're gonna. There's not a lot of shows in the summer months, but come September, things are going to start rolling again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems about right. So keep an eye out for that if you're friends with Josh, and check out where he's going to be selling some vinyl. He's always got some good shit. So give it a look. All right, let's go around, say goodbye, starting with Aris.
Josh, my deepest sympathies, and hopefully we distracted you a little bit.
Yes.
Put your mind at ease for a short period of time. And to everyone else, I cut down a flaming tree. Goodbye.
That's amazing. Ravenshadow.
All right, Josh, love you, boo. And fucking buy Josh's fucking records. What's your fucking problem?
What's your fucking problem?
For real. Live fast, love hard, survive with your mask on.
All right. Well, that is going to wrap up this episode. We're around 5:26. It's fucking ridiculous. So we appreciate you guys tuning in, everyone who listened live, and everyone who didn't send in feedback this week. We appreciate you too. Just kidding. But yeah, next week, definitely check out Plague of Zombie if you have time to watch additional, if you're doing some extra credit there. But definitely check out Pussy Cake. It is going to be available on Screambox. As I said, you can get a 30-day free trial. So what do you got to lose, right? 30 days. That's it. It's free, so give it a look. Check out Screambox and check out Pussy Cake. And come back and join us next week as we talk about it and see if we can say Pussy Cake more times than we said it this week, which was a lot in the last 20 minutes or whatever. All right. Well, that's going to do it. So we appreciate you guys and all our patron supporters. We appreciate you guys so much. Now come back and join us next week. And I don't know. That's it. I don't have a tagline, Ravenshadow, so fuck all y'all. All right, have a good week.